Hello, Zero here. Young lady, I have to say that that's one of the most moving videos I've seen on being bipolar. I'm also bipolar, have been for probably over 20 years. Didn't even know that I was for several years. Bipolar can lay dormant in your system until something tragic happens in your life, and it will come flying through like a tornado, which is what happened with me. It literally changed my life for quite a while, and not for the good, of course. I ended up leaving my family and just going off. I ended up in several psych wards, which I have to say to a lot of people that sometimes being in a psych ward is not really a bad thing. Um, the ones that I went to were actually good ones, and I've had a lot of support, and wasn't anything that I thought it was. And a lot of times it was a safe place for me to fall when I knew that I was falling hard. One of the things that I did that probably saved my life more than anything is that I started researching what is bipolar, how does it affect us, you know what does it do to our daily lives, and when I started learning more and more about it, what I found out is that I knew how to hold myself accountable and stop the things that I was doing that were harmful to me and to other people, especially for my family, because I put them through so much stuff, as you know. And I also had a friend, a really good friend, who stood by me and really helped me out a lot during that time. And to this day, I'm so grateful to her. But when you study it and you research it, and then you start studying yourself and your actions, you, you can see actually things that you're starting to do before they happen. Now, that didn't happen right away. So, I went through a lot of years of hit and misses and putting myself through horrible things in my family. But, but when I finally decided that I wasn't going to let it take over my life and ruin my life forever, this is what I did. I went to all my friends because I found out what my triggers were. That's key. Know what your triggers are. When you know what your triggers are, then you can feel them coming on. I had some things that were triggers, like certain types of music would really trigger me. And so I learned that, I shouldn't listen to those kinds of music. Be in certain places and with certain people would definitely bring on them. After that, I shared with my friends that I was bipolar and that I really needed their help. And that when they saw me acting in certain ways, and I had a whole list of things, and I'd tell them, these are the things that I will start doing when I become manic. And when you become manic, you're most destructive to yourself and to your, not, physically, but in your actions. It's when you become more sexually, promiscuous and you just do things that you wouldn't normally do. So I told my friends that when I start acting this certain way, you are to look at me straight in the eye and say, stop now, and sit your butt down. That was really the best thing I ever did for myself. And then I started holding myself accountable for my actions. I could no longer say, oh, I did that because I'm bipolar. No, I chose to do that. And yes, I am bipolar. But I still have a mind of my own, and I still can control it if I really want to. Another thing that I found that is key is finding the right set of medications. I call it your magic set. And unlike a lot of diseases, with bipolar, it takes a lot of hit and miss before you find that magic set that really is the one that really helps you the most. I don't know how many sets I went through, but I've been on the same medications now for 15 years and have not had to have any increases or decreases or anything. And most of all is my relationship with Jesus Christ. When I started turning to Him and saying, look, Father God in heaven, please help me through this. Help me to know when I'm going to be acting this way, and help me to know that it's not right and that I need to change. And I started putting all those things into action at the same time. It was then that I finally realized that I am bipolar. And sometimes I can use it to my advantage, because when you're bipolar, you're extremely creative. You have ideas that come into your head, and if you start jotting them down, when you have time eventually, you can start doing things that are very positive for yourself and for other people. Like, I found out that I'm very, very good at making floral arrangements and wreaths for the walls and decorating stuff. And I found out that I'm a lot more intelligent than what I thought I was, and that my love for knowledge is greater than what I ever thought it was. Go figure. I'm 56 years old now. I still see my psychiatrist, but I've seen him once every 6 months now, and mainly all he does is write out my scripts. But he always asks me, well, not always, one time he finally asked me, he said, I've never seen someone come almost full circle with their bipolar. Tell me what your secret is. Well, the only secret that I can tell you or anybody else is Jesus. He's the one that helped me put my life back together again. Without him, I couldn't have done it. I can say, oh yeah, I could have done this, I could have done that. But the truth is, with him in my life, I depend on him more than I depend on me. And when I do that, then I can grow from it, I can learn from it, and then I can help other people. And, then we don't have to suffer so much. I think it's about time that as a country and as a medical field, that we not just look at our mental, what they call disorders are, but there are diseases. The diseases of the brain, we're not producing enough, serotonin, or, it's a disease. And until we make people realize that, then it's just going to always be known as she's mentally ill. Well, you don't go up to somebody who has cancer and say she's just mentally ill because she has cancer. No, she's got a physical disease, and that's what being bipolar, manic depression is. It's a physical disease. It's just that it's a physical thing inside of our head, and there's a lack of a certain thing, and it's not something we have to suffer with for the rest of our lives. We can adjust to it, and we can live a fruitful life, and don't have to visit those parts of us that want to commit suicide and to cut ourselves. Because I was there once. Well, I was there more than once. So I just want to tell you, your video was so touching, and I want you to know that I will be praying for you to come to a deeper understanding and to keep going on. Don't ever give up, honey, because you have a beautiful soul, and I could see that inside of you. And you need to be able to share that with the world. God bless you. This is Tilo. Over and out.